Geeks for Geeks. This is Kushbu, and in this video we are going to talk about how you can grab an internship offer at Google. So to go to any destination there are thousands of paths, but to reach our goal faster we need to find a perfect roadmap and stick to it. So in this video we are going to discuss a particular roadmap which you can follow so that you can reach your goal faster and you can grab your opportunity to intern at Google. So let's start. So securing a job requires two things. Firstly, your skills, and second, your portfolio. Most of the students make a mistake of focusing on either one. So let me elaborate this a bit. What does your skills mean? Skills means you should have the required skill set so that you can actually contributing to the company's growth and giving back to the society. Even if you get an interview offer at Google, you need to make sure that you have particular certain skills so that you can clear that interview. And with the portfolio, I mean that even if you are the world best coder, how will a company know that you exist? You have to do certain tasks so that your profile is visible, so that they can reach you and provide you the potential work. So these two things are most important. So let's discuss this in detail and understand that how we can make our stronghold on both of the topics. Now, firstly, let's talk about the skills part. So, you need to analyze that where your skills stand right now. How much skills do you have? And how much do you need to learn and develop over time? So, for example, if you are starting your preparation in January and you know that you want to target the interviews that held during April or May maybe, then you know that you have potential 3 months to prepare. Now you need to set your timeline according to these months, and you need to set your goals monthly, weekly, and on the daily basis. You can do this in two ways. Either you can say that I am going to cover this topic today, or you can say that I am going to do at least 10 questions today. These are the two ways. I mostly prefer the topic part. I will complete arrays today, or maybe I will complete the linked list today, because that is more beneficial. So let's talk about what all do we need in the skills part. In the skills, mostly the big companies like Google and Amazon, these focus a lot on data structures and algorithm called DSA, because it helps us to understand the time complexities. It teaches us how to work in constraints and how we can change our code with the different situations that arises. So having good hold on data structures and algorithm is very important. There are a lot of topics in data structures and algorithms like arrays and linked lists, queues, heaps, stacks, and graphs and trees and advanced data structures and all that stuff. But you should start with the basic and then you should move on to the advanced topics. The best advice to learn data structures and algorithm is to take it topic wise. So basically, firstly, you should make a list of all the topics. Like you should start writing it by arrays and linked lists and queues, stacks, and your trees and graphs, and then your dynamic programming, recursion, backtracking, and all that. And then you should see that how much do I know about this topic, how much preparation is needed. For example, array is a very basic topic, so you can say that I need to do at least 4 or 5 questions so that I can remind myself about the array part. And then for example, the second topic is stack, and you know there are a lot of standard stack questions that are asked regularly. So you should say that I need to do at least 10 to 12 questions on stack, in which I cover all the standard questions so that I can get hang of it. Then you need to do the linked list because it is also asked very oftenly. And then you can say that it is a very big and standard question, so I will do at least 10 to 12 questions in which I will cover the loop detecting part, the doubly linked list, and the circular linked list, and all this stuff. Then you are going to heaps, and you can say if I know heaps, I will do minimum I can go with 5 to 6 questions. And then comes the topics like trees, and you know that it is a big topic and it needs a lot of more preparation, and it have a lot of subtopics like BSTs and transversals and DFS, BFS, and all that stuff. So you can say that I need to do at least 30 to 35 questions so that I can get hang of it. And then there are graphs in which you have to do kruskals and prints and all these algorithms, and you have to get hang of directed, undirected graphs and weighted and unweighted graphs and all these things. So you should do minimum of 25 to 30 questions over these things. Then when you will complete these things, you will come under, then if there comes your dynamic programming, and after that recursion and backtracking. When you will complete this roadmap of yours, you will know that okay, you are at a good level in your data structures and algorithm. Now what you need to do, you need to excel in logic building. You need to make this process faster so that you can come up with the algorithm in the time of the interview. Now you need to learn how to build logic, and now you need to get hang of solving questions fast. So what you can do, the best practice is to go to the recent questions that are being asked in Google interviews and the most asked in questions and practice them. On Geeks for Geeks, you can find a lot of company-wise questions that are being asked in different interviews. You can find a huge collection of a lot of company-wise questions and interview experiences. You can go through them so that you can know that what to expect from your interview. Apart from that, there is a section called must do coding questions, and it is definitely a must do. Apart from DSA, you are also going to be asked some behavioral questions, because the recruiter wants to know that if he can work with you or not. But these things are a very small part of your interview. The main part will be focused on data structures and algorithm. And now I think we should move on to the second part, the portfolio making. Apart from your data structures and algorithms, apart from when you have enhanced your skills, now comes the part when you have to improve your portfolio. By portfolio, I mean you need to make a visible profile on the internet, not on some specific site or something, but you need to be visible, you need to have some work so that company can judge you over what work you have done and what skills you have. So for this, the most important thing comes is your resume. You should need to make a very good resume which showcase that what all skills you have, what all the things you have done till now, starting from your company experiences to your projects to seminars, workshops, and everything you have done till now. You can put it on your resume and give it to your recruiter. The recruiter is going to judge you on the basis of what all you have written in your resume. So it is definitely a very important prospect in getting an interview call from a company. There are a lot of mistakes that we usually make while making a resume for the first time, or maybe even if we are experienced. So the some best tips are to make it short and on the point, to keep updating it on regular intervals. Whenever you want to apply for a new job, try to rephrase it according to the job requirements. And the fourth tip is get it reviewed by someone, some senior, or preferably if someone have got job in the same company. We at Geeks for Geeks have made a lot of videos and given you a lot of seminars on how to make a perfect resume. So if you are interested, you can check out those videos. Now there are some things that you can do to make your resume better. Firstly, you can improve your coding profiles on the different platforms like Codeforces, CodeChef, or LeetCode. Companies do prefer competitive coders, so that's why they look at your ratings in these competitive sites. So if you have a good rating, then you are definitely at a good place. Second thing is, you can take part in different competitions, different programs that these companies organize. For example, as we are talking about Google organizes a lot of different coding competitions like CodeGem, Kickstart, and Hashcode. So if you are participating in these competitions and you are getting top ranks, then top rankers often say this, that they get direct call by Google. So you can get a direct call from Google. So this can happen. Also, there are different programs like GSOC, WTEM that Google organizes so that they can provide good experience to the students. So you should try to take part in these programs so that you can get some exposure about the company. Also, you can have something to write good about this company. Let's talk a little about what was GSOC. So GSOC is not exactly an internship, but a very good program by Google, which is completely devoted to open source. GSOC full form is Google Summer of Code. So in this, you have different organizations which have their projects on open source, and you have to contribute to those projects. So it is a very good opportunity. If you want to learn about open source, if you want to contribute back to the society, then you should definitely check this out. Now you have gained a lot of knowledge, enhanced your skills, make a good resume. Now what else you can do? You can improve your LinkedIn profile. So your LinkedIn and GitHub profiles are a must have. On your LinkedIn, you can get directly called by different recruiters. You can get directly connected by different recruiters, and that can be a very good opportunity to grab a good company. So you should have a very good LinkedIn profile. Some basic things are: have a very good profile picture in which your face is visible. List down all your experiences and all your projects in your LinkedIn profile, and have some of your links, social media links, and your email address in your GitHub profile, so that if anyone is interested in your profile, they can directly contact you. Now we have made our profile visible. Now how can we make company to reach us? So here comes the Google career page. You can go to the Google career page. Now you can go to the search tab and look for the best job that resonates with your interest. At Google career page, you will also find some filters like location required and minimum age experience and the technology required, so that you can find your particular role and apply for the same. You should definitely go and apply for at least 1 or 2 roles, so that Google have your profile in their database, so they will know that you are interested in getting a job there. So you have high probability that they will call you back if you have a good profile. What else we can do apart from making a good resume and applying from the career page? We can get referrals. So for getting a referral, you can just go to LinkedIn and search for the company, and you can ask your first degree connections to give you a referral. There are some mistakes that everyone do while asking for a referral. You should not message someone saying, "Hi, I need your help," or You should not write a full essay about your condition or how they can help you, or about your achievements while asking for a referral. You should write a short and on the point message, so that person is interested in reading your message and in helping you. So a best template to message someone can be, "Hi, I am Khushbu, and can you please help me out by referring me for this particular role in this particular company? Here's my email ID, this. Here's my resume, this. Thanks a lot and have a nice day." You can see that this is very short and this is very on the point. So it have a very high probability that person is interested in giving you a referral. So if he even opens your resume, and if he finds you an interesting candidate, you have a very high probability that he is just going to go to the portal and refer your email there. So make it easy for the person that is in front of you to refer you, so that you can get a referral easily. Now we have learned all the different skills, we have made a good resume, we have made our profile visible, and we have applied for our job. Now we need to keep practicing and wait for the results. And whenever you find any vacancy on the Google career page, do apply for the same. And I hope this video was helpful for you. Do subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with all your friends, and I hope to see you all very soon. Until then, bye bye.